That's not going on the video. Just opens up the first thing in the video, yeah. How is what you've done this off season compared to other off seasons?
I think the biggest thing for me has been the group setting. Like I've never, I know a lot of guys have, but I've always been in a spot. Like when I left school and I worked out at school, there wasn't a group setting. It was very individual. And then last off season, being shorter, it was also individual. And so like this is the first time I actually felt like I was getting pushed by other guys. And I felt like I definitely took steps forward that I wasn't able to take because of being individual.
And you guys come out and like watch us hit and throw and stuff. So it's not like the gym is just this building. It's like the whole off season we've been out. We face you guys live. We go and hit. We carpool. You guys show up. So it's like different than a normal gym where you're just like walking in, like, all right, it's time to work out. It's like an everyday thing, like all day.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't really feel like a business transaction, more so like, because you guys actually care about how we do outside of the gym. Like, just to piggyback off what you said, I think it's cool. You came and hit with us, just to check it out, just to know. We went to Fit Some and we did like the yoga thing, ice bath, and you're always watching these guys bullpens, even though that's like a 30-minute drive for you guys. You know what I mean? You make the commitment, so I think that's really cool.
Yeah, another thing was like, so obviously I'm not from here, and I don't really have family in the area, so it was even cooler when like you guys invited me over to Thanksgiving and stuff, so I had I was like part of your family that night, and that was pretty cool.
Mac and cheese just for Jimmy.
Absolutely.
All right, so how are you feeling coming out of this off season compared to other off seasons?
I think I'm ready to go. I gained about probably 7 to 10 pounds. I think I move a lot better. I think when I'm pitching, I can go down the mound like more solid. I'm not moving around, not too whippy. So I think I really just built myself ready to handle innings this year.
I'd say, obviously looking at me, I'm a smaller guy, and people tend to like try to keep their like reins on me. And I felt like this year, like even last year, I felt like there was a couple times where you kind of pulling me back and stuff. But this year, you like really let me go and kind of let me do my thing. I kind of lifted more than I've ever lifted before, and so I'm excited for this year.
My jumps and numbers have been crazy. Like just from like deadlift or like whatever it might be, just from like starting at base zero. And it wasn't like, hey, we're gonna try and have you hit this number by the end of the off season. It was just every day like, hey, how do you feel? Feel good? All right, let's keep working. Or or the sprinting, like we hadn't like done a full sprint in a while. It was just like all starts and get outs in the first couple steps. And then we sprinted, and it was like I was mid-season form. I felt faster than I ever have because we just worked from like the start and then just built up how we felt. And it wasn't like on a program like, hey, you need to hit this number today. It's like, if you didn't feel good, you didn't feel good. Or if you felt great, you were allowed to like go up. It was really like tailored to you, which was nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would pretty confidently say you put like 150 pounds on your deadlift.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Easy.
Crazy.
Now, I think that goes to the group setting,
Yeah.
to have guys, that are gonna push us, because how is he supposed to know to like go up unless either you tell him or the guys he's working with, and then it's like, come on now, like let's go, let's and then next thing you know, he's reverse lunging whatever 275. And he's never done that before.
Extremely. I did not think you were going to.
Yeah, but he couldn't walk the next day.
And that's the same thing with like the group setting. We're out here pushing each other. Obviously he can't tell what type of rep that was, and like the other day during deadlifts when he was deadlifting, it was like that looked super easy. Like you definitely could do more.
Right.
And then even when you failed on that one, you got right back in there the next set and then did it with no problem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you were like lifting it up, and you put it down. We're all like, dude, it looked easy.
Yeah.
It felt heavy.
We were talking about that. It was like he got like a quarter of the way up, and then we're like,
You just dropped. He's like, oh no, I don't think I can do it. They're like, no, of course you can.
So for all the position player guys except for Trev, Braden and Knapp, you guys both have elite level speed and have based a lot of your game on raw speed. So how has your training at Hyperthrive taken one of your strengths as speed to the next level?
I mean, it's like one of our main focuses. Every day we come in and do like starts or stride outs or whatever, and then the workout is based off of that. So it's not like you have two separate workouts. Hey, we're gonna run and then we're gonna lift, and that's not gonna complement what you're running. You know, like what we're doing. It's like all one thing. Like now we run and work out at the same time, and then there's a day where we do it before, there's a day we do it after. So we're like hitting. When our legs are fresh, we sprint. When our legs are kind of tired, we sprint. And when we're, gassed, we sprint. And it's all, you still have to do it right. Like we were supposed to do, like 8 reps last week, and we were gassed.
Yeah.
And we did 6 good ones. It's like, okay, that's all you needed.
Yeah.
So it's not like overboard of, hey, you're a fast guy, you need to do this many times. It's like, you got your work in, it looked clean. You don't need to like go extra and do something crazy.
Yeah. Quality.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you touched on every point, and I'd always like training in the training environments I've been in that have stressed speed. I've always felt like it was 2 separate workouts. Yeah. And then like I got here, no idea what to expect. Me and G over there, and he's the speed guy, and I'm like, next thing I know, this guy's crushing me. And like from like day 1 to now, like how like crisp the form has gotten, like the emphasis on form, and just like when I hit, I have my feel. So now when I run, I have my feels, and that's what I lack forever. It's always just like run as fast as you can, but it's like just like hitting. Like I take swings, and they're not very good. And now I feel like my form has been, pushed an effectiveness that I can maintain. So
yeah.
I think that's been the biggest thing. And
There's definitely a process too.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I can't do this. I feel unathletic.
Yeah.
Why am I jumping?
Yeah.
Like, why am I diving this way? And now that we're like full-blown sprinting, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, like the trust level, it was always there. Like there's sometimes where you're like, all right, Nolan, what do we got here? What are we
Where's that
doing?
credibility?
Yeah, but then you start sprinting, you're like, I feel amazing right now, and all of those like little things that we did make 100% sense now.
And like mechanically, like, growing up and stuff, coaches are always telling run faster, but it's like, has anyone ever taught you guys how to, the beginning of the off season, when we were, talking about mechanics and stuff, how do you guys think that helped you now, like knowing what to look for when you're looking at the video? Like, how do you think that transferred to now?
I mean, I think it's mostly feel for me. I can feel when it's like I take a step and I'm straight up, because then my next 5 steps are trying to like work to get back low. But in the beginning of the off season, I was like, ooh, that felt fast. And then you look at the film, you're like, oh my god, what is that? That was not fast.
Yeah.
But now I can feel when it's like I get out low, drive. I can like feel what the correct one is versus of like that felt fast or not. I now have a definition of what fast is for me.
Yeah.
And I think there's like 2 different types, because like Knapp stays like close to the ground, and like he's super explosive, like in tight windows, and like I'll cycle. And I think like for me watching video and like seeing, I'm cycling too early to be able to like know that I gotta drive, and then like that rhythm we talked about. And so now I know like the difference, what to look for on video.
And to have someone that knows the difference of like, because we're both speed guys, but we run completely different.
Right.
And to have like a coach be able to work on 2 different things with 2 different guys, but like ultimate goal is to be as fast as you can. Usually everybody's like, this is how you're supposed to run, or this is how you're supposed to pitch or throw or hit or whatever, and to have a guy be like, you need to work on this and you don't need to do that, you need to work on this, is encouraging. You're like, all right, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Big time. You know what you're talking about.
You're crazy, boy. You're crazy. You're crazy.
And I think like on the baseball side, like obviously it's very skill dominant a lot of times, and like there's going to be a hitting coach, there's going to be a pitching coach, a throwing coach, or whatever the case may be. But then it's like on like the speed side of things, it's just like, all right, we'll just go out there and run quick. To have somebody like that, or to have a coach on both sides where, just like hitting, I mean, a guy might look totally different than another guy, but they're still getting the same effect. But it can be the same with, speed, like just having that little technical or mechanical work that can kind of separate yourself from another guy.
You guys have all trained at other facilities. You've trained at other facilities in Sacramento or at the D1 level or at facilities like a Cressy or a Driveline or a Sparta. So how does the training here and the training environment at Hyperthrive compare to the facilities you've trained at?
It's as good as it gets. You know, we come in, even it's deload week, if you're slacking, it's like you kind of get made fun of or like roasted. People are like, what are you doing? You know, like deload week, you still got to work. And when you come in and like work and you look at Tony and he's like, yo, we got some things going on. And you just get your mind right and you're like, all right. And then you have 4 other guys that are going in with the same mentality of like, we're going to throw some stuff around, we're going to do it right. You know, like it doesn't get better than that.
I think it's also like teaching technique, but knowing everybody's different. So like with some of us are like with deadlifts, we tap and go, and then some guys will stop, reset, and do it other. It's teaching the same lift and other things, but knowing the person. And I think that's like super important.
You guys have done a good job getting the best out of us every day. Coming in tired if it's at 9 o'clock, get a late night the other day or something like that. You know, all you guys would be just hype us up, get us going. And just working with our schedules too. Just being able to come in at 3 o'clock or going at 6 in the morning for a flight one day or stuff like that. That's been really big for me.
What would you say to like your 15 or 16-year-old self about athletic development and how to improve performance or like how to choose a program that, you know, is athletic based or something like that?
I think the biggest thing I would tell myself is be open-minded, but make sure you educate yourself and research what's best for you. Because, you know, I think especially like on the strength side of baseball, you know, like football strength and baseball strength are completely different. So like if you only know football strength and that's all you do, like you're gonna have baseball people look at you and go, that doesn't work. But like if it works for your body and that's how you move, like maybe that's something that's good for you. But I think educating myself at younger age, like I would have been better off going into college or going into pro ball, because I know what works for me, I know how I move, like I know what's gonna get me stronger. But I mean, it's hard when you're, you know, a teenager to like actually like take initiative and know that. Yeah. But I think that'd be really important, like developmentally going forward.
I remember when I was like 15 or 16, I was on bodybuilding.com. I didn't know, you know, what to do or how to do things. So I think learning from someone rather than trying to like guess yourself is huge, because right now, even if I read a workout online, I can do it completely different than how it's like meant to be done. So having someone there like showing you and correcting you when you're doing it is huge.
That's to piggyback off of that, like when I played on a travel ball team that we were like lucky enough to like go and get into like a high school and lift and have like somebody there. But some of the stuff we were doing, like we were power cleaning at 14. And like looking back, I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Like why, like just doing stuff and then just trying to lift as much weight as possible, not caring about form or anything like that. Like looking back, like I probably could have like really hurt myself doing some of the stuff that I did.
I would
not being smart.
love to see 14-year-old Jimmy.
I'm telling you, man, 95 pounds, I was just, like it was nothing.
Reverse crawl to a front squat.
Sometimes if I did it too fast, I would like fall backwards. Somebody had to push me forward.
Along those same lines, like obviously like a 15, 16-year-old like or a youth athlete or somebody in high school, like a lot of the times like they don't make decisions like themselves. A lot of times it's like the parents, you know, they might see like an ad somewhere or like something on social media. So like for you guys now, like how do you critically like evaluate what a good strength program looks like compared to like what a crappy one might look like?
Personalized. Right, I came in here the first day and it was, you know, a week or so after you came in, and I'm sure we asked completely different questions. I want to know if you guys can give me an answer that makes sense to me, right? I don't want to come in and say, what do you guys think about speed? And they're like, we're going to run 3 miles a day. I'd be like, okay, next. I don't, you know, that's not what I need. So as a parent, I think you would need to have a conversation with like you guys or a trainer and say, what can you do? Like, what are you good at? And then this is what my kid does, and how does that mesh? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and it's not the fault of anybody. It's, you know, it's just not a good fit. But knowing, like, and I guess that's kind of going off what you said, like knowing yourself, like if you're 15 and you go to a gym and you're like, this isn't it, you have to know that and not be Jimmy at 14, or all of us at 14, and be like, I'm gonna deadlift 500 pounds. Why, you know? So like knowing why you do something and like how it fits into your game, that's what I wish I would have known. I'm not gonna hit home runs. Like why would I try and...
I think it's also important to you know, like you guys are obviously in the Sacramento area, and probably most of the guys you work with, you know, other than us, are in this area, whether they're playing junior college, D1, D2, NAIA. If you're in this area, like you can go watch your guys, players, see how they move, how they play. Like those are questions that are answered by, you know, seeing. So like you guys obviously are educated in how you speak. We can come and ask questions and like be like, man, that sounds really good. And then to like be able to see it on the field, players doing it, it's action.
I think when I first came in day one, you were marking stuff on my shoulder blades. And so after that, I was really comfortable because it was like, this guy really knows what he's talking about. He knows where my shoulders are moving. I'm really, I feel safe doing all the shoulder mobility and getting stronger, and for my health for throwing too.
How do you feel the attention and detail, or attention to detail, and the quality of coaching compares to other places you've trained at in the past?
I'd say like some places where I was like the only guy in the gym at some times, that the guy would come over, make sure I knew what I was doing, and then he would just like leave.
Yeah.
I think even though like you do give us our space, but it's not like you're just letting us do whatever. There's always like critiquing, like if you're doing something wrong, it's like, you know, across the gym, you know, tuck your chin and stuff like that. It's making sure we know what we're doing, but not hounding us and giving us our space. Yeah.
I just think, like Joe and Nolan and Aaron are just always on you. Like if they have a good kettlebell swing is completely wrong, you know, Aaron let me know. Like they're not afraid to like, there's no egos here. If you're doing something wrong, someone lets you know, you fix it. Like it's not like a, whoa man, like don't tell me how to do it kind of thing. You know, like it's not
I know what I'm doing.
You don't come here because you know everything in the world. You come here because you want to learn and get better. And I feel like I've learned a lot in a short time.
That no ego aspect is huge because, you know, in a gym, functional place, I feel like the stigma is like ego, you know, like I know what I'm doing and you guys aren't scared to tell us if we're doing something wrong. And I think all of us are fortunate to be open-minded. You know, while we all like are strong in like what we know, we're also very open-minded, and I think that's why we've all learned so much. And obviously Jimmy's been here the longest, so he's obviously learned more than us. But you know, I think that's just been such a nice environment because we've learned so much, you know, from each other and you guys.
Has the family aspect of Hyperthrive played a role in your training experience?
For sure. I mean, the fact that I see you guys outside of the gym is not common, you know? And like, you have trainers, I mean, I'm sure all of us have had a trainer that you're like, yeah, he's all right in the gym, but I don't really want to see that guy outside, you know? And that's not the case. Like, you know, you guys go golfing with us, you like hit with us, throw with us, you know? Like, it's more when we come in, it's like all right, let's be serious. You can still have like fun, you're gonna lift right and be strong, but it's not like here we go, it's game time, and then all right, we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. It's like, hey, like, what do you guys got today? How's your arm feel? Are we throwing? You know, it's like the concern level outside of the gym that is the best part, I think, about this place is that you are genuinely concerned about how we are outside of lifting as well as during the
Every day Joe comes up to us, you guys swinging it today?
Yes, Joe.
He's trying to learn.
Yes.
Like, I think it's cool. I don't know, maybe maybe I'm not right about this, but when you came and hit with us, like you kind of want to see how we move and like what our thought process is on stuff.
Oh, you guys have no idea how much film I've watched of you guys, like on YouTube. I'm dead serious. Like every single one of you guys that came in, like I probably spent like a week where every day I would go through you guys' film, see how you guys are moving, because it's like, it makes a difference in how I program for you guys. Like Jimmy, I have to program for him extremely differently than how I do for Matt. It's like the comment you made yesterday, facing him, it's like, we're facing two completely opposite pitchers. And if I would have thrown the same program at both of them, like it just wouldn't have worked, right? So like I want to know how you guys are feeling that day and if you're swinging that day, because everything outside of that, especially getting this close to the season, like that skill work is much more important than you hitting a deadlift in here. Like especially if that's going to negatively affect what you guys are doing on the field, like I'm not doing my job. Because my job is to create performance on the field. I could care less if Jimmy can deadlift 475 if he goes on the mound and feels like shit and like, you know, can't do what he needs to do to provide for his family.
But the family aspect, you know, I think like we are professional baseball players, but we're also people. And I think for you guys to see us as people first, you know, want to like learn our stories. You know, we're all from different places, all different ages, went to different schools. high school and college, like to be able to learn our stories, like who we are as people, the charity work that, I do, the off the field stuff these guys do. I think that makes a huge difference because, I don't really want to be associated with somebody who's just like sees me as a baseball player, because at the end of the day, like that's not what defines me or any of us. Like we're human beings, and I think to be treated like that, means a lot to all of us.
Another thing is like I love how like loose it is in here. Like even though we are doing what we're supposed to be doing, and if we mess around too much, there's like, all right, come on, let's lock it in or whatever. But like just busting each other's balls and like telling jokes and stuff like that, I think that's really makes the environment better.
Keeps it fun.
Exactly.
At your level and at this time in the off season, skill work takes first priority. How has your training at Hyperthrive complemented your skill work and not competed with it?
Well, for us running, we started running like in our programs. It's one of the main points, the focal points of our workouts is how we feel running. Like that's kind of our skill set. So to have that and it not be a side note, oh yeah, you're also fast, so you should run today. But have that be like, hey, it's now time. We're getting closer to spring. It's now time to start going. It's now time to start doing drop backs or open up or whatever it is. It's nice that you guys also understand that we have a completely different process towards baseball. Like some of us hit a lot earlier than others. Some of us wait to throw, But you guys take that into consideration when making our programs. And then the communication level of, like Trevor said, hey, are you hitting today? Because that affects how we're gonna feel in the gym or how we feel the next day. Like some days you go out and you do a ton of outfield work and take 500 swings, you're gonna be sore because we haven't done that a lot yet. And you guys knowing that means that I can go out on a field and not have any, restrictions thinking, oh wait, I gotta be in the gym and tomorrow's my heavy day. Like you guys consider that and then work with that.
Yeah, because it's definitely not baseball and then strength. Like it's baseball and strength, and so like for you guys to see it that way, and like Napper said, like the intermingle of the two makes a stronger athlete than doing one and then the other. And so I think you guys do a great job of that, and especially getting closer, like toning down, like. I leave next week, so to deload this week to get me out next week, and then like in our running stuff doing, the drop back stuff, more like outfield specific running stuff. It definitely translates because when we do our outfield drills, like I can feel that translating.
What are you guys going to miss the most about being at Hyperthrive every day?
I would just say like the camaraderie and stuff, because obviously this is my last week here, and it's pretty sad, because transitioning from last year, you guys like at another place, and then into this like spot that's just perfect for literally everything. I think I'm just gonna miss like all you guys, everything. I don't really know what else to say.
For sure. Miss the homies.
Yeah.
I think it's cool too, because like, I've been here for like a little over a month, but you guys all off season see how hard each other work. Like, I don't think even your teammates during the season don't really know all the time you put in during the off season. Like seeing you guys work hard is cool, and knowing like cheering for you guys, knowing how much time you put in, I like that.
Yeah, I definitely miss being here and working out every day, but I'm excited to kind of follow everybody's journey through the minor leagues and up to the big leagues and text each other and root for each other. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think I might have been talking to you about it, like when Jimmy makes his debut, like, who knows, like could be like in wherever. You could be in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you see Jimmy on the TV in the clubhouse, like, man, I train with that guy. Like, you watch it with more intent because it's like, you feel like you're like invested in his career because you see how hard they work. And, I think that's just a fun dynamic that this place has provided. But that didn't even answer the question, so.
No, that's good.
I can't wait to name drop you guys.
I know.
Dude, I know that.
I'm gonna see these two playing each other. I'm like, dude, I know those guys. People are gonna be like, I don't really care. I'm like, I do. Sick, man.
Are there any memories that stand out from this offseason?
Like one of the coolest things was like seeing guys like lift more than they thought they could. Like I loved Knapp this year, man. Like the first time you deadlift, I don't know what weight it was, but it wasn't even anywhere near where you are this week, and I think that's really cool.
I think the best memories are when you can look at other people dying with you, and you're like, I can't stop. Or like I see Braden, he's like went up 5 pounds in a lunge, and I'm thinking to myself, why is he doing this? But I have to do it then, because it's like the competitive thing. Like, I'm not gonna let him, you know, or like, even when we wanted to do like 285 on the reverse squat, and Nolan's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Are you gonna be a better base?
Yeah, I'm like,
no,
but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, no, don't do it. But like little things like that of like the competitive between like seeing Jimmy put on 5,000 pounds of a deadlift and me being like, okay, I can't do 200 and just call it a day. You know, like I have guys throwing serious weight around, and like that ability to like push each other is like what I'll remember. And then you guys being like, okay, whoa, easy, cowboy.
I think for me, like, it's one of my favorite moments of owning a gym so far is the For Mom charity. Watching that video, and shout out Mario, that's like one of the proudest things I have from this facility, and like we wouldn't have been able to do that without you, you know. And it's just, it's even better to support someone that, you know, I've gotten to know so closely. And it's like, I know that cause is so close to your heart. So for us to be able to do something for you and for your charity, like, it was just awesome. And the way it turned out was just perfect. So yeah, I couldn't imagine it being better than it was. So for me, that was probably my favorite moment of the off season.
My favorite, like my favorite thing is like I'm so fired up for you guys to come in and like hit it. When everyone's like warming up in this corner, I'm just in my head like getting fired up. I'm like walking around like looking at you guys talking. I'm like, oh, it's going down. You know what I mean? Like just getting fired up. I love like that pre-lift where everyone's like starting to get warm, like rolling out, drinking their pre-workouts or their freaking BCAA.
Green apple.
And everyone's just getting like ready, but like everyone's like looking at each other like it's about to go down. That's like my favorite part.
You know, like when I came in here, not being from here, and then have you guys embrace me as family, and like be able to tell my story, you know, of my mom and like my charity, and then you guys rally around it, and we have the event, and it's like, that wasn't me, like that was you guys, but like For Mom grows because of guys like you, and it's not like, at that point, it's not about baseball or strength, like just human beings, you know, just trying to help in the community. So, you know, I think that memory is going to stick with me, and hopefully next year that event grows.
Yeah, why do you choose Hyperthrive as opposed to other choices you have in Sacramento?
I think it's so like we've said before, it's like specific to what you do. You know, like you can go to any gym, some Lifetime or whatever, and just go in and do whatever you want. Yeah. But it's like specific, like they want you doing this, we're going to do this, because it's going to specifically help you at your position and what you do best.
But I think like a huge thing, and like this is kudos to you, is, you know, the relationships you build in the strength community. You know, so I was referred by Eric Cressy, you were referred by Eric Cressy, and you were referred by Eric Cressy. And then these two, you know, obviously you reached out to them, but like they know us, and so we can speak on your behalf. But just the fact that you have somebody of Eric Cressy's stature to, you know, speak highly of you when, you know, baseball guys reach out and he says, Joe Grinstain, Hyperthrive. I mean, I don't know if you could get a better compliment than Eric Cressy saying that, but
absolutely.
I think
when I moved here, because I was in San Antonio and then I've been here the last 2 years, like I got my agent to ask Cressy, like, what is there anybody in the area that does what you do? And he immediately was like, Joe. You know, so I was like, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't even need to say anything more. And
absolutely.
you know, there's probably other, you know, good places in the area, and they probably do a great job. But just the fact that, you know, Eric sends us your way, and that we can see how you work, you know, I think that's huge.